Thank you.
Thank you.
Really,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you. Kind of you all to give me this opportunity to interact with you. And we know that life is all about Zoom call. We are literally a click away to each other. And what you have done with this click today is invited a fresh perspective on leadership. I would call that as a fresh perspective and not necessarily a new perspective, because when it is fresh, it does something new for us. Make sense? If that makes sense, then I'm sure another thing I'm about to tell you will make a lot more sense. When we are in a learning environment, which is probably what I will try and create for the next 45 minutes for you all, it is just best to be a student, isn't it? If you're here to learn, then having a student mindset just makes it much easier. Perhaps we'll be better students today than we were in school. I can say that for myself, right? We just wanted the school to get over, and there wasn't too much of focus on learning. But as we grow, we realized we could have done better. Why not make that improvement right now? So, my humble request is to put your videos on if you can. I know we're all relaxed at home. It's okay if kids are roaming around in the background. In fact, even better. It's okay how you look, because no matter how you look, you will look lovely and feel much better at the end of the session, I can promise. So put your videos on, because that really helps us to focus. And we've got to focus for the next 45 minutes on your own self. So for some time, let's forget that there are 48 people in the room, and let us just be with our own self. Sounds good? I'm sure you're all very used to thumbs ups and yes and bring it on and all of that. We're going to do a lot of that today. I want this to be a very interactive session, ladies and gentlemen. I want this to be a session about you. It's not a generic session. As Sudha rightly guessed, I have curated this specially for you all, which means I'm hoping you will find value in it. But how much value you will take away is more in your hands than mine. So let's see who wins this contest of maximum value in minimum time. Are you ready? If yes, say bring it on. That's how I like to see my students prepping up to learn something new today. BIO, bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it
Bring it
on.
on.
Awesome. Wow.
Everybody,
Okay. If
come
you
on, some
insist.
more energy, guys. Let
Yes,
you also see that.
I'm expecting you to beat me hollow on my energy level. It's me versus 47. And I want the 47.
On.
Thank you. All right. So first thing first, if possible, please grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. If you can get a notebook, nothing like it. If not, then just some piece of paper. If you can get colors, even better. Some sketch pens, some crayons. Let's not use the phone to make notes, please, because it comes with a lot of baggage. There are a lot of distractions packed in that tiny little thing. So no phones. Simple old school way of learning. Paper, pencil. I am very old school when it comes to learning. And I'll share more about how old school works in a little while. Okay, it works better than new school. Do you agree with that? Do you think old school works better, especially when it comes to learning?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%.
It does, right? So I keep promoting how old school is effective with the millennials when I take up sessions for these college kids. And I keep telling them that you don't have to discount everything that your parents say just because they don't charge you for it. Like free information is not valued, right? Anyway, so are we ready? Say ready in the chat box. Let's have ready in the chat box. Let's warm up the chat box, guys. Ready?
Ready. Ready, ready.
Ready, ready.
Ready. Okay. All right. If you're ready, then I'm just going to share my mind map with you all. I don't like presentations. I use a lot of mind maps because it just opens our mind to a lot of new ideas and creates structure. So before we get into leadership, I mean, I see a lot of people here in the room who've, of course, kind of been through their own learning curve. You all have learned leadership. Sometimes we have to unlearn and then we relearn, and it's an ongoing journey, right? We do something, it turns out to be wrong, and then we learn how to do things better. In the process, sometimes we lose people, we lose relationships. Are you with me? So you hire people, you don't know how to manage them too well. We make some mistakes as bosses, and then we lose them. With the next hire, we learn a little more, and it's a forever journey of learning. And that's absolutely okay, because what's common between all of us is that nobody has really learned leadership in a structured format. Am I right about that? Have you? Has anybody in the room learned leadership in a structured format? Like you did a course on leadership before you became a leader for the first time. For the first time, you had more than one person to take care of, and you said, no, 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 I'm not ready. I have to go through this course. I have to understand what leadership means. Only then will I take this promotion, or only then will I start my business or take it up from my family. Anyone did that? You
No.
just
No.
no, even if we've done MBA from an Ivy League college, we have not learned leadership in a structured way. Right? Hence, it's okay that we've made some mistakes on our way. What is not okay is to not come back to the notebook and the pen, come back to the classroom, and now see what there is to learn about leadership. It is just another skill. Cooking is a English language is a skill. Speaking in any language is a skill. There are a lot of skills that we keep learning. Why not leadership? And the good news is it's never too late to learn, isn't it? So let us see, what do you want to learn? How open are you to learn? And what are you taking away from today's session in just a while? And before I open up my mind map to you all, there's a little something I want you to do for me. Could you very quickly write down 3 numbers? Listen to this very carefully so that the numbers don't go wrong. The first number is your age. Now, please don't get emotional about it. You're only those many years wiser. Okay, that's how I like to see age. Oh my God, I'm so wise. And that's a big number of wisdom. Don't challenge me on my wisdom. So that's my wisdom, okay, my age. The second number is your total years of experience after you left school, college, whatever you did, everything put together. What is your total years of experience? Right? Just that number. And the third number is your salary or turnover, or the last salary drawn, or the last turnover on the P&L you saw before you handed it over to somebody else. Whatever is that last number you associate yourself with when it comes to professional success. Done? Give me a thumbs up if you're done. Done? Done? Super.
What was the last number you said? Sorry.
Your last drawn salary, or your current salary if you're working, or your turnover if you have a company, or the last turnover if you're not running that company anymore. Whatever is the last number you associate your professional success with. Okay, done. Done. Everyone seems to be done. Superb. Now, let's take that piece of paper and fold it into a tiny, teeny, meeny little chit. Now the competition is who can fold it more than 8 times. I read somewhere that you can't fold a piece of paper more than 8 times. And I'm not sure if that's true. Let's see if you can beat that. Dr. Meenal is at it. Shashikant ji, I think you're at folding the chit stage. Let's fold the chit as many times as you can and show it to me in the camera. Let's see what is the size. Not possible. Not possible, Satish. You gave up. Okay, let's see how tiny it looks, even if it's not 8 folds. There is a prize that Shashikant ji has decided to give to the tiniest chit. Okay, that's a secret thing he didn't want me to tell you. Special prize. Okay, Manisha, good job. Sudha, how did you do that? Asha ji, one more fold. One more, Asha, one more. San in, I can see it as San in, very small chit. Oh. Superb, superb. Dr. Meenal, who can beat doctors? You never mess with doctors, right? Wonderful. Okay, some of us are still trying. Suhas ji, great attempt. Wonderful. Kedarnath, I think you totally win the competition. Do you, Kedarnath ji? I don't think it can get smaller than that. Asha, almost there. Fantastic, guys. And now with this little chit, let's hold it in your hand and throw it. Throw it behind you. शादी में वो दुल्हन करती है ना, सारे चावल वावल लोगों पे फेंक के आगे चलो लाइफ में, वो वैसा वाला एक थोड़ा, let's give some little value to this so-called burden of success. What we have taken away between you and me, if there is anything that lies, is our burden of success, right? Oh, I'm these many years old. What are you going to teach me, little girl? Oh, I mean, my experience, you have no idea how much I already know. Yeah. Oh my God, you don't even know what wealth I enjoy. How could I earn so much if I didn't know about leadership? And this is what I call as a baggage of success. When we do a few things right, somewhere our mind starts believing, what more can I learn? Haven't I arrived already? But our ego feels good when we look open to others for learning. I'm very open. Any webinar I make time. But when I'm there in the webinar, in the session, how open am I to learn? That's the question, right? So a lot of us spend a lot of time judging the person who's there to share. अच्छा देखते हैं इसमें कितना दम है बॉस क्या बोलने वाले हैं भाई huh? And that's why we'll end up wasting time. If I've taken precious time out of my family time, which is the case for us right now, right? 8 o'clock, family time. My family demands it. Like they come and my kids, they sit on my lap saying, no, sorry, no exception to this rule. And I had to really make an exceptional request today to be here with you all. And if you're going to spend this time with me or in any learning environment, it's just best to keep aside the baggage of success and be open with the curiosity of a child. Leadership, what is that? Tell me. I know nothing about it. How will that be? Will that be fun? Can you have
Absolutely.
no age? There is no age. There is no experience. There is nothing I've earned. There is nothing I've done. I'm a brand new child and I really want to know something. How's that?
Perfect.
Super.
Sounds good.
Great.
Super. All right. I love the energy here. Great. Now let's go to the mind map because our minds are open and we're going to receive a lot more. So here is what you can do as I open this mind map. Feel free to create your own mind map on your notebook. Okay. At the end of this, I would love to see what your mind map looks like. One thing I can guarantee is it will look better than mine for sure because I've just made it as straightforward as possible. So guys, when we talk about leadership, there is a what and how of leadership, right? Matlab, what matlab strategy. How matlab operations. So when we talk about what is leadership, we talk about strategy. For example, strategy is about creating a vision. It's about culture, values. What are some strategic imperatives that we have in our company or initiatives that we will take? All this is the what of leadership, right? Creating strategy. And then there is a how, which means making the execution happen. And how do you do that? You set policies, you set procedures, you set systems, and you set behaviors. Now, behavior is what trickles top down. It trickles from the top of the pyramid, from senior people down to the junior and the junior most people. And when the behaviors are right, then the benefits arise. And benefits move from the bottom of the pyramid to the top. Which means if you're leading the right way with the right behaviors, they trickle down to your teams. And when that happens, the benefits that the lower level, the junior most level will create for you will start piling up, adding up to the higher numbers and the revenues and the goals that you created for your organization. Make sense? Which means if I need to have a certain revenue target, if I have a certain bottom line in mind, if I have a certain number which I associate success with, the responsibility for that to happen is on me because I am the one who's going to impact the behavior in this pyramid. Because even if I'm not right at the top of the pyramid, I am pretty much somewhere there, right? We're quite senior in that sense in our organizations. Am I right with that assumption? Yes. And let me
Yes.
a lot of what we are going to talk about in terms of leadership is absolutely applicable in your personal life as well, right? How you lead your family, how you lead yourself will show and reflect in your parenting. It will show in your relationships with your spouse, with your parents, with your in-laws. It will have a ripple effect everywhere. So are you ready to know what the 5 levels are?
Yeah.
Say, bring it on again. That's like my food. If I don't take dinner on time, I have BIO on the rocks. Bring it on, BIO. Let's put that in the
Bring
chat
it
box.
on. Bring it on.
Bring it on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so, here it is. Here are the 5 levels of leadership. Now, before I open up the levels, let me tell you that this is actually like one step above the other. We have to move from the level we are at to the next level. Make sense? So as we go through these levels, as I unveil these levels to you, I want you to do a little honest self-reflection. You with me? Jitesh, Santosh? Okay, self-reflection on where am I? Where is Santosh on these 5 levels? Not all the time, but most of the times. Not with everyone, but with most of the people, I operate from this level of leadership. And once I know where I am, only then can I know where I want to be, isn't it? If I don't know where I am, how can I even get anywhere? I can't. It's not possible. I need to know that I'm in Mumbai, and then I know, okay, if I have to head towards Delhi, should I go north or should I go south? So what we are going to find out first is, where are we right now? And as the levels open up and I take you deeper into that, we'll create an action plan of getting to the next level. So this is something that I always say, as much as I'm invited here for a talk, as a coach, I am just, and as a compulsive coach, if I may say, I just jump into real action, which means we're going to create real action. We're going to convert this talk into a workshop. How about that? Will that be nice? It's not a monologue. It's not something that you felt good about. You have some clear understanding of what you're going to do differently. And that will be real value of your time, which is going to give me a high by the end of this talk. All right, let's create a win-win situation. Yeah, Sudha? Cool. So level 1 is called position level, guys. Position level means I operate from my position. I am the vice president. What I'm saying is right. Or I am your mother. I know better. These are positions, right? So when I talk, don't mess with me. If you have any doubts, look at my visiting card. And there you will see my designation, and that will tell you how right I am and how wrong you are. So I operate from my position. And when I operate from my position, people do what they do because they have to do it. Because I'm their senior. They don't have a choice, right? So they have to do. Now, if you have to do something, what do you think will be your level of productivity? On a scale of 10, what will be your level of productivity? Shashikant ji, अगर करना पड़े जबरदस्ती, you have to do what I want you to do, तो 1 से 10 के स्केल में आपका प्रोडक्टिविटी कितना होगा? You're on mute, sir.
Barely 4-5.
Barely 4-5, right?
Yeah.
Right. Anybody else?
It's too high. I think it's 2-3 is the maximum which we can do.
4-5 is a good average. Top.
Now, okay, so 4-5-2, but definitely not a higher number, right?
No,
And we always keep worrying about people's potential. We hire people so carefully after spending so much effort, and then we don't get 10 on 10 from them. How fair is that? And then we wonder, अरे क्या है भाई? आपको आपके पसंद का salary दिया, इतना अच्छा job दिया. Why am I not getting what I saw? I saw this in Asha when I hired her. I don't see when she works in my company. Why? Because I'm probably operating from level 1 leadership. I have not done what level 2 leader does, which means establish a relationship with Asha. And when I'm able to do that, you know what will happen? She would want to do things for me. It's not have to anymore. It's now want to. I will do what I'm supposed to do because Yukti is asking me to do it. And it's my relationship with her that I feel like doing what she's asking me to do. So now my productivity has increased a little bit, isn't it? When you are doing something willingly, you do it a little better than when you have to do compulsively. Right? So now I've established a relationship. I look like a good leader. Would you agree?
Sure.
Yeah. Looks
Yes.
like I'm a good leader. I have a relationship with people. They want to do things for me. तो हो गया. अभी level 3 क्या है फिर? Relationship ही तो बनाना होता है. Leadership is all about relationship. I have a relationship. Now, how do I elevate my level of leadership from here? That's when I start working on showing people what is productivity. Not just asking them to be productive, but showing them how to be productive, which means I'm not just telling them to come on time, I come on time. I don't just tell them that this work takes half an hour. I show them how it takes half an hour. I don't just tell them don't take 2 hours, ये तो आधे घंटे में हो जाता है. मैंने आधे घंटे में करके दिखाया है without putting myself out there saying, let me show you. No, not like that. I've just created a situation where you can witness how it is done. And when you look at it closely, not once, not twice, 10 times, you will get it. So I lead by example. I show you what I'm expecting from you. And then you know that I can lead you because I know what I'm talking about. Are you with me? So it's not enough that Asha likes Yukti. Now, if Yukti is making a demand of her, somewhere she'll think, अरे बोलना आसान है, आधे घंटे में होता है, आधे घंटे में थोड़ी होता है. ऐसे थोड़ी that I'm watching Netflix while doing this work. It is taking me 2 hours. How can Yukti say it takes half an hour? And then I find the opportunity to do this with her. And I will show her how it is done in half an hour. And I will keep doing that till she feels comfortable to show me how it is done in half an hour. And that's called equipping people. We keep saying this in leadership, right? I equip my people. I equip my people with resources. Equip means making it available to them, right? I make resources available. I give them rest time. I give them leaves. I give them support. I equip them to do better, right? But this is not equipping. Equipping means I do, you see. And then you do, I see. And then when you are comfortable with that and you're able to achieve that level of productivity, I let you be off your back. Now you're by yourself and you're doing well. That's called equipping our team. That's a level 3 leader. So what happens here? This is where you walk the talk. You don't just talk, but you walk the talk. So now Manisha will say, okay, relationship bhi hai, walk the talk bhi hai, level 4 kya hai? Now, what more am I supposed to do if I have shown them how it is to be done? They like me, right? They do what they do because they want to. So what do you think level 4 is? Any guesses?
They create a leaders.
Sorry?
Direction.
Direction.
Creating leadership from them.
Creating leaders from them.
Creating leaders out of them.
Cooperation.
Cooperation. Okay.
Ownership.
Ownership. Sorry?
Delegation.
Delegation.
Delegation. Getting work done. Okay.
Inspiring
Ownership,
trust.
delegation together.
High self-motivation.
High self-motivation. That's a good one. High self-motivation. Okay.
Inspiring trust.
Inspiring trust. Wow. Very well said. Inspiring trust, which means it's very behavioral. It's very qualitative. It's outside of my control. Isn't it?
Right.
It's outside of my control. Whether I inspire trust in you or not, I don't know. Only you can tell if I've been able to earn this. But what is it that I can do within my control to be a level 4 leader?
Once I walk the talk, I will develop the people to become leaders.
Wonderful. Who said that? Sir, can I have your name? I'm sorry, I can't see the whole grid.
I'm Dr. Lucky Kaseti.
Amazing. Very well said. You absolutely nailed it. It's about people development. When you become a level 4 leader is when you are developing people's career. When you shape their success and their career. When you invest your time, your network, your wisdom, your understanding, your experience to create and shape your team's career. And let me tell you, there could be a time when you realize that, you know what, the kind of skill that my team has, right? I don't have enough opportunities in my own division to do justice to their skill, right? So Muralidhar ji probably is running a big business And in that one particular department, he sees this resource called Kedarnath, who is really up in his game now. Are you with me? So he is a very good resource. And somewhere Muralidhar starts feeling insecure that itna time tak I have invested so much effort in getting Kedarnath to this level. Now it will be unfair if he wants to move on. Yes or no? Let's be honest, right? We'll say, Ari, so I want more from this resource because I've worked so much, trained this person so much. But when you are a level 4 leader, you know whether you are adding to somebody's growth or capping someone's growth. Do I have enough opportunities in my company still to help Kedarnath grow? Or am I bottling him and stopping his growth? And maybe I should help him to get another assignment somewhere else, or maybe encourage him to create something he's been wanting to create, become an entrepreneur that he's been wanting to. I know that he has the skills. Do I have that ability as a leader to go beyond my own interest and support my team for their development, not just promotions and incentives, but their development, even if it's about going beyond their ability to serve me? How can I serve them and do justice to their growth? That's a level 4 leader. Tough, huh? Very tough to be there. Very easy to say. Because we all want return on investment, boss. Whether it is investment of money or investment of time. I've spent so much time on Sudha. Now Sudha is the best in the department. How can she go to a bigger organization? But if she deserves a certain salary that I'm not able to afford in my business, I should help her get another job so she grows. Are you with me? Not easy to do. So let us really have a very, very honest assessment. And I don't even want you to share that in the chat box because it's not important that people know. What's important is that you know. At which level do you usually operate? Usually, I'll say very carefully, I'm using this word because we are not at the same level all the time with all the people around. We are not. There are a few people where we have relationships, right? We have relationships with them. There are a few people with whom we use our position to get work done. There are a few people where we are inspired to show them how it works, right? Somewhere we are invested in one or two people's career also. And we're really kind of doing more than we have to do. And somewhere I could be a level 4 leader. But somewhere the same person is also a level 1 leader. So if I were you, this is what I would perhaps do. I would want to maybe write down a few names that come to my mind with whom I'm at a level 1. Some names of people where I operate from level 2 as a leader, 3 and then 4. Are you able to pen that down? Are you able to identify some people from your work, from your business, from your life where you operate from these levels? And then I will tell you what level 5 means. There is a 5. Imagine that. What more is left to be done? I've taught you everything. You become so good that you're going beyond my organization and I'm supporting it. Now, what's a level 5? What more can I do to be a level 5 leader, which is an aspirational level for everybody? But before we get there, let's see if you're done with this. Done, Resham, Neha? Are you able to write a few names there? Yeah, Jitesh, Satish? That's
Yes,
a name.
surely.
Yes.
Super. Don't exclude your children, huh? Don't exclude them. You could be a level 4 there. Most of the parents are at a level 4. We spend every single penny we have and sometimes borrow a few pennies if we have to shape up our children's career. But how often are you at a level 1 there? That's an interesting question to answer. Done? If you're done, give me a done. Yeah, done, Suhasji?
Yeah, done.
Superb. Superb.
I'm at level 1 in the kitchen.
Okay, that works. I'm sure that works. And since you said that, I'm reminded of a very important point I should add here. Sometimes It could be a conscious choice to be at a level 1, huh? It could be, and
Very
it's
good.
it's right. You've got to be at a level 1 to get some things done. It's a function of two things: the situation and the individual. Now, what if Santosh is somebody who works best when instructed, but Suhas is somebody who works best when he's allowed to work in his own way. When he gets space, he works best. Santosh might feel lost if he gets too much space, especially in this work from home environment. क्या हो रहा है? कोई है नहीं पूछने के लिए. Call आया तो you can always pretend that you were doing something even if you weren't, right? It's kind of tough to manage people when you don't see them. So we've got to build the understanding of who works better in which manner. Maybe Santosh will work better if I'm more at a level 1, and it is also a function of how experienced that person is. If Santosh is new in the company, I can't walk the talk and spend that kind of time with him. I need to give him certain instructions so he starts learning. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So sometimes it's a choice. It's a function of the situation. It's a function of the kind of individual we're dealing with. That we have to be at a level 1 or a 2, and sometimes we are at a 4. All right, are we good? Good so far?
Good, good.
Now with this 1, 2, 3, 4 and having achieved so much, what's level 5? Let's get a guess on this.
Maybe it's level 5 of Maslow's theory is level 5, nirvana, or finding happiness about how people are growing and enjoying that growth in the people.
Yeah, that's a very good guess. It's often considered as a state of nirvana. कि भाई मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. I'm now a saint. I'm now retiring and chilling out, and I already have a penthouse.
Self-realization.
Sorry?
Self-realization, Abraham Maslow's theory.
Self-realization and self-actualization. No, this level 5 leadership is a level that we cannot achieve. It is a level that we can only earn. We can achieve level 2, level 3, level 4. We can't achieve level 5. We have to earn it, because level 5 is about
Is it respect?
Reputation.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Respect, reputation. Yeah. Respect. Yeah.
respect. It's about earning respect from people. What is respect? Respect is when I do what I want to do for you, and I know that even if I don't do it for you, we will have that relationship going. You will keep supporting me to grow. You don't want anything from me all the time. Respect is when I follow you for who you are as a person, and not what you do as your profession, as your seniority, in terms of your wealth. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. And it's because you are the way you are, it is Suchit, the way he is, that I follow him. Now it doesn't matter what it is. And that's because he's earned that respect from me, right? And how did he do that? How did he do that? There is a little bit of doing involved. When people follow you for you, you have been spending a lot of your time serving people, isn't it? When we talk about service, we very quickly go to charity, right? We quickly go to service matlab NGO, service matlab charity. No, service means having the intent to serve. It's got nothing to do with whether this will result in profit or non-profit. It is just the intent to serve. So let's expand what serve really means. Serve means being able to see the future. Very important. Let's just stay with what I'm saying. Let's not be in a hurry to get the entire serve decoded. I'm going to take you through it, but with the right understanding, right? What does see the future mean? Am I able to create a vision that is compelling enough for people to follow me and continue being with the organization? Right? Am I creating the vision that is making sense for people? Am I creating a vision that they are excited about, they are connecting with, they relate to it? It's not just a sentence in English. It is something that everybody is committing to do. Am I creating a vision that is relevant today? Very important. And pandemic has been such a huge learning lesson for us, isn't it? So many of us in this room, including me, were very averse to the idea of having online meetings. Online meeting is not a technology that took over just last year. It has been here for a long time, isn't it? But how many of us were having online meetings? Not too many. And being a coach and trainer myself and running a company into training and coaching, if a company were to tell me, let's do an online meeting, I would be so close to that idea. I'll say, no, let's meet somewhere. We'll sit at Starbucks and talk. How can we have an online meeting and still connect with each other? But that's where we are. We are having online meetings and we found a way to connect with each other, isn't it? You've connected with me already. I'm trying to connect with you all. And we know that it works because we are allowing it. We have accepted this. And this is what creates our ability to see how can I mold myself and become more resilient? How can I see what's coming next? And that's called seeing the future. How well are you able to see the future for your organization and for your people? The E of serve is engaging and developing people continuously. It is a continuous process. It is not once a quarter process, once a year process. It's a continuous process. And it has to be relevant. And it can be personalized. If you are invested in your team, you will also make it personalized. I know what Suchit is good at, and I know what he can improve. In the learning plan that he will develop for himself, I will take the liberty to add a few more things, and I know it will really greatly, immensely help him. I'm going to stay engaged with some key people. Obviously, if you're running a company which has 500, 5,000 people, you alone as part of top management cannot write their development plans. But if you invest in writing for your 5 downs, for your people, 5 people who are your 1 down, or 10 people who are your 1 down, they will learn how to do it for their 1 downs. And that's why I said behavior trickles from top down. You do it for your 5, teach them how to do it for their 5. And that's how you will cover the entire organization of 500, 5,000, whatever that number is. It's no big deal, but it starts with you. Art of serving is about reinventing continuously. So here is a challenge. How many of you, very, very honestly, can talk about data security for more than 15 minutes? Give me a thumbs up if you can talk about the relevance of data security for more than 15 minutes.
No.
And nothing is more important than that, irrespective of the business or the work that you do, irrespective, including my own profession. I don't have to give a lecture on data security. That's not part of leadership. That's not what I do. But how can I not know about it? Because it will have an impact on every business. Today, if you're in education, you have to understand edutech. If you're in agriculture, there is an agri-tech. If you're in finance, there is a fintech. Technology cannot be avoided anymore. Are you with me? We can't. Otherwise, we would have said, okay, Rotarians, let's chill. Let's give a break to our good work. We'll connect when the infection, when this virus allows us to. We didn't do that. The show must go on, and we made sure that it goes on. We had to befriend technology, but it needs to go beyond what's easy. This was also not easy, isn't it? ये Zoom application कैसे download करना है boss? अभी ये कैसे connect होगा? ये सब हमने सीखा है ना? We've learned it. But our learning cannot stop because now we are able to manage work. We have to go beyond. What is artificial intelligence? What is it to do with my business? What is big data? What is that to do with my business? How can technology make my career, my business more productive, more effective? How can I use technology? I've got to educate myself on that. There is just no option. And that's called reinventing yourself. Reinventing yourself continuously. Keep learning, stay relevant. stay relevant. B of serving is value results and relationships both. और ये सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है. ये बोलना बहुत आसान है, ये करना बहुत मुश्किल है. There are people in our company who we like, but they don't give good results. There are people in our company I don't like their attitude, but they do numbers, they get results, and that happens all the time. So as leaders, we always get confused. What do I weigh more, results or relationship? But the key is to get the balance right. And hence I say leadership needs to be learned. Now there are ways to learn it. When you sign up for a structured approach towards leadership as a student, when you sign up for a course, whether it is online or a live masterclass happening or a self-paced learning course, that's when you get the piece together. That's when you start understanding how to do a few things differently in your space of leadership. And E of serve is embody the values that you talk about. Practice what you preach. You cannot talk about not gossiping when you are found gossiping every now and then. You can't, isn't it? Isn't it fair? I can't tell Jitesh, listen, Jitesh, it's not good to gossip. And the next thing I do is I sit with him and I gossip about Suhas. Will I be able to earn respect from him? No. And the worst part is that he will never let me know that. Why should he? Why should he bother telling me that you just lost some respect actually, sorry, but that wasn't so cool? I will never know. And that's why earning respect is something that you can only earn with continuous, authentic ways of being. When you are authentic about who you are. When you start accepting everything that you do right and everything that you're still learning and making right. When you come across with your vulnerabilities is when people respect you. When you try to show yourself as perfect, I am too wise, I am too aware, I am this and that, people are not able to connect with you because it's not real. Perfection is an illusion. What is perfect? Nothing is perfect. And no one is perfect. So why do we have to show this perfection all the time? Why can't I say, sorry, I made a mistake? Even if I'm the senior most person in the company, why can't I make mistakes? I will continuously. But I learn, I don't make the same mistake again. But I can make new mistakes and I have no qualms in admitting to that. And that's the value I embody and that's the value I propagate. And that's what helps us to earn respect. So here is a quick look at it again. Level 1 is position, when people have to do what they want to, what they are doing for you. Level 2 is when they want to do it, it's relationship. Level 3 is productivity, when you walk the talk. Level 4 is people development. And 5 is earning respect. When people see you as that leader, they want to follow because they want to follow you for who you are. And with that, I wish and hope that you all continuously aspire to be a level 5 leader. And for that, have the courage to be your authentic self and be an open and lifelong learner forever. Thank you so much. I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Yukti. We're opening up to any questions. You can put it on the chat box or, put your hand up, put your speaker on and ask Yukti questions.
Sudha, can I? Santosh?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yukti, very good presentation. Thank you so much. Learned a lot. So yes, it's a good opportunity for everyone to learn in this pandemic situation. And I hope everybody is invested a good time today. I have one question. I always, have been, we are discussing in the management forums that you are good as you have been treated on your first job. I mean, that experience stays with you, that leadership stays with you for, entire journey of your as a career development. So how you have been treated by your first boss is what you will become as a good leader or a bad leader. What is your thought on that?
Okay. So very interesting. And I think the first thing that I would like to do is to challenge that statement. Just as much as being a leadership and etiquette coach myself, I also challenge the fact that you can create your first impression only once. There is no second first impression. But I beg to
It
differ. There can
it
be a
may
second.
it may be a lasting impression. You can say not completely full, but long lasting impression.
Yes. And,
Oh,
and there are ways for you to reverse that and create another impression, right? So there are two things that I want to say to this, and I'm so glad you brought this question up. First thing is that we have to stop putting leaders on a pedestal.
তোমাকে দিতে হবে আমাকে কেন বলছো? আমরা তোমার
Just as how we realized right now that none of us has learned leadership in a structured way, it holds true even for people who have led us in the past. Whoever was our leader, whether the first time boss or the second boss or the third boss, they also never learned it in a structured way. They were trying to do their best. But it's easier to see the flaws when you're on the other side, isn't it? Just as how we see flaws in our parents. Mom should not be like this, dad should not do like that. But if I'm a 5-year-old, my mother is also a 5-year-old mother, no? She's not a 35-year-old woman. She's a 5-year-old mother. She also knows parenting only for the past 5 years. Nobody went to a school to learn parenting before becoming a parent. Very few people do. How many of us in the room really went through a course? Bhai, aisa biologically parenting छोड़ो, पहले course करना है, फिर हम देखेंगे if we are ready. If I clear the test, then I will sign up.
Good one.
Yeah, Kedarnath ji, you did that?
नहीं, मेरा एक एक्सपीरियंस था when first time parent हुआ, I was taken to a Chinmayanand Swami's parenting class by my wife.
Okay.
And when the half session was over, we had a break for chai and samosa. I went up to the person who was giving the talk. I said, very good talk. How many kids you have? He says, no, I'm not married. So that's a leader which I was learning from. I said, well, I have bottom washed, so I'm aware what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. And that's when you instantly thought of, yeah.
Can I ask a question, Yukti?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
allow me.
yeah.
I just want to complete what Santosh has raised, and I will come to you in a bit. So just quickly, the point that I want to bring your notice to is the fact that sometimes what we learn from our leaders is what not to do. It's not necessarily about what to do. In fact, in my own career, Santosh, I've learned more about what not to do as an ex-banker when I worked with Citi and Barclays for over a decade before becoming an entrepreneur. And I had like a series of bosses I had to deal with. And unfortunately, to my luck, most of them were not leaders who I consider as great leaders. But you don't choose leaders just as how you don't choose parents, right? You just have to stop putting them on a pedestal. You have to accept that they will make mistakes and they are learning like how I'm learning. And that's the complaint we have with our parents too. Why can't they be perfect? I want a perfect mom. But there's nothing called a perfect mom. And now that I'm a mom, I realize it, right? But how I wish I could realize even then that, okay, my mom is trying to do her best. My dad is doing his best. My leader, my boss is doing the best they know today. Right? So let us not hold that back and allow that to hold us back to learn what we need to learn and grow as a leader, the leader that I want to be. Irrespective of the first experience I had, I can always create a fresh perspective of the same experience. That ability I have, isn't it? If one day my mother hit me in front of my friends, I felt humiliated. And I felt like this is not it. But when I grow wiser, I can look back and say that's the best she knew then. And she was dealing with too many things. And in that frustration, if I added to it and I got a little, beating there, I think that's just the best she could do then. I can change the perspective of an experience when I get the wisdom to understand it better. You with me? I hope I answered your question in some way.
Can I ask a question?
Perfect.
Yeah, Satish,
Can I ask question?
Yes,
yes, Satish had a question, and then Suhas, please.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Sudha. You see, that was a wonderful presentation. And let me tell you, just before I ask my question, that as a senior district officer, Rotary is about creating and developing leadership. And whenever you showed that 5 levels, I have seen many leaders, they are operating from either level 1, 2, 3. So this was a fantastic opportunity for a social leadership also. If they want to go from 1 to 5, This is it, Eni. So really compliments to you for the pointing out a little different aspects of leadership, which are, I think, a little practical and simpler. But my question here is, when you say level 1, level 2, level 3, do you mean to say someone is at level 1 or level 2 or level 3, or they can be at all the 5 levels with respect to different kind of people? Do I necessary? 5 is a little different or difficult, as you say, but level 1 to 4, I may be at my workplace at 4 level. I may be at family at 3 level. So what I want to know is there a gradual step that after 1 it has to be 2, or you can be anything simultaneously and your goal is to be at 5? That is my question.
Okay, great. So the answer, a quick answer to that question is, you're absolutely right with your understanding that we are at different levels with different people. Already, we already are. Just that we didn't know what that, this was level 3, this was level 1. We didn't know. Now we know that this is what level 1 is, this is what level 4 is, and we are at different levels with different people. What is there for us to work upon and what we could call as progress is how less do I need to visit level 1? Can I reduce my frequency of being at level 1? Can I see if I can operate from level 3 and 4 more often? And sometimes I might have to make this choice of being at level 1, like I explained a while back, basis the individual I'm dealing with, the situation I'm in.
Yeah,
But how often am I not there and more at a 3 and a 4? If I'm at a 3 and a 4, 5 will happen. It will happen for me. I don't have to achieve it, like I said, right? I'll earn it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Suhas?
Yeah. Yukti, fantastic presentation, no doubt about it, and very well said from the point of practical solutions and suggestions. But my question is, the leadership is what we understand is a situational leadership. In one situation, you can be a leader, you may be at level 4, but the situation changes in next moment, and suddenly you become level 1 or maybe level 2, level 3. So one has to identify as the situation changes, he is not going to be Sarvajnani and leader of level 4 or 5 all the time. He has to understand now he has to be at leader level 1 or level 2, and how he progresses from level 1 or 2 or 3 onwards, that's by reinventing himself. Is that, am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely right. And what makes it easier for us to do this is to elevate our emotional quotient, EQ, right? We've always talked about IQ, and we take a lot of pride in our IQ. My IQ is a 3-digit. So don't talk to me about logic and intelligence. But do I know what is my EQ? Nobody measures that. Nobody tracks that. And here is the fact, which comes out of research basis, what Harvard and Stanford both have done individually and together as a team. And they arrived at one common result, which said that 80% of our success beyond mid-management, means beyond a level where we are responsible not only for ourselves, but also for a group of other people, 80% of success depends upon our EQ. Only 20% of our success is on our IQ. What is EQ? Ability to connect with people. Right? There are many elements of EQ.
There are organizations, I understand, where the promotions are based on the relationship which the leader is able to establish with the peers and the subordinates.
Right.
That qualifies them for the promotion.
Right. And imagine what it does to the culture.
Yes.
And you can't control that. So the moment you do that, you need to be very conscious of the fact, what is the culture that you want to have in your organization? What culture are you encouraging? Because it has to come back. It creates a ripple effect. There is no way that you could dodge that.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So
you will attract the kind of talent that you don't want if it's about creating a yes man ship. So one pays the price for the choice one makes.
Thank you, Yukti.
You're welcome.
Sudha, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yukti, just one small thing, while we generally tend to believe, that leaders are born. And I guess a large part of it is because of the basic attitude of people, basic behavioral thing of people. And when you need to, reach these levels, especially when you go beyond level 2 or level 3, doesn't the whole attitude or behavioral aspect of a person really matter a lot? And is it really possible to change? Because some part of leadership really comes from inborn thinking and real pure thinking, that a pure idealistic thinking that some people would have, and some people would find it very difficult to get the out of the box thinking. So I just wanted, because you are so much experienced in this field, what do you think about that?
Okay, it's
When
a
we look at
very
our subordinates, our children, I mean, all the people that we are surrounded with in our life.
right. So, I think it's a very common confusion that a lot of people have. If I'm not a born leader, I'm not a natural leader, can I learn to be one? Now, let's look at what we mean when we say somebody is a born leader. What does that mean? What are the qualities that come to your mind if you were to call someone as a born leader? Maybe something like, okay, she takes initiatives, right? She is fearless to voice her opinion. So she's a born leader, right? She is not uncomfortable or nervous about being on stage. So a born leader, right? But then you look at leaders like Mother Teresa, never on stage, always wanted to camouflage with the crowd. Mahatma Gandhi, not known to be an orator, great inspiration. But if you have read enough about Mahatma Gandhi, you know that when he walked, he never looked back to see how many people were following. It just turned into a Dandi march. He just picked up his stick and he took off, right? So it is a misconception that we create in our mind that if I have to be a leader, I have to be like this. I have to be extrovert. I have to be a great orator. I have to be very open to people. There is no have to be. There is a style that we can all adapt and adopt. And there is a personality that is unique. So, for example, you have your own personality, Asha. I have my own personality, right? But you can be a great leader and so can I. What will help us to be successful with our own personalities is to understand what are the different styles of leadership that I must know about, and how do I develop my ability to switch from one style to the other depending upon the situation. That's leadership, that's all, which means it is a skill that can be learned.
Thank you. Very well said.
Yeah, thank you.
I will take this. I'll just take one last question. I have a question.
Sure.
So,
Sudha.
Yes.
Apeksha wants to ask from the, she has raised her hand. So let her ask.
Yes, sorry. Apeksha, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, Yukti. Very important talk, and it's very inspiring to hear from you. Like, I've heard a lot from leaders, but this one it did captivate my attention. Now, to speak about myself, I've been manager in a very long duration of my career. Now I am aspiring to become an entrepreneur. Now, the lockdown has helped a lot in terms of, navigating self, assessing self on various factors that we have learned about leadership in a long process. But then I know the areas of transition that I need to focus on to, but I am not sure how to go about it, because I want it to be quick. I want it to be responded by people and resonate with the thoughts, resonate with the ideas that I have perceived until now. So how do I go about it and build a journey for my leadership forward?
Okay. If I got your question right, Apeksha, what you're saying is, how do I manage the transition from corporate life to an entrepreneur life?
Right.
Okay. Is this related more to business plan and validation of idea, or is it about mindset and attitude?
It's both, actually, because I belong to a creative field. So it's like I don't have a product to sell, I have a service to do. So
Right.
I have to be having a complete balance of the two categories that you just spoke of.
Okay. So there are two things that I would suggest you to look at. One is to really sit back and use this very powerful tool called SWOT analysis. I'm sure you've heard of SWOT before, have you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? But we don't do it the right way. We've never really done a SWOT on ourselves the way it is to be done, looking at the questions for every single quadrant. My strengths, my weakness, my opportunities, my threats. Have you run a SWOT, Apeksha?
I have. I did a leadership program, but somehow I learned about it, but doing it is something I'm really not convinced on to yet. How to go about it.
Right. I love that honesty. I actually, okay, so I did this webinar on SWOT analysis, and it really takes that long, like for an hour. We were just doing our SWOT. And given the number of people who recently talked to me about it, I'm very curious to do this again. When I do, I will share the invite with Sudha, and if she'll be kind enough to pass it on, I would love you all to join in. Meanwhile, explore the resources available online on certain questions that somewhere you will find listed on each of the quadrants, and there is merit in doing that properly. If I'm planning this anytime soon, I'll definitely extend the invitation and I will take you through the exercise. But meanwhile, read up on this, Apeksha, and invest some time to do SWOT. The way you will do it today is not going to be the same as how you did last time. Every time you do a SWOT, it can look very different if you know how to do it right. Right? It's really about the present moment. Right now, where Yukti is not where Yukti was 5 years back, isn't it? So if I look at my strength now with using those questions that I must answer, something new will come out. That's number one. Number two, we must start valuing professional services. In India, there is a mindset which is against professional expertise. हमें जो दिखता है ना, जो टच कर सकते हैं, जो प्रोडक्ट है वो समझ में आता है, सर्विस समझ में नहीं आती है. Right?
And that's what my struggle all about.
How can a counselor help? How can a mentor help? These are professionals who study, what they do, and they make the journey much easier. They make things faster for us. So there is a business coach who can help you to get your business plan right. There is a leadership coach, which is what I do, who can get your mindset and attitude right and prepare you for it. Will it cost? Yes, it will. Is it an investment that I can keep aside for later? The choice is yours. Right. Do you want to start unprepared and see how better prepared you could be? Or do you want to start prepared? And it will, one thing that I really liked when I heard from somebody else saying that when we want to plan our life and plan growth, we should not be cheap about it. Right? We should be ready to spend. In fact, a lot of people talk about learning, and then Apeksha, my question to them is, what is your learning budget of the year? They say, what is learning budget? Learning budget थोड़ी होता है. And I said, बिना learning budget के कैसे learning होगा? Which means अगर कोई free webinar हुआ और आपके पास time हुआ तो आप गए, और अगर वो webinar अच्छा हुआ तो आपने शायद कुछ सीखा. Is that learning? Not at all. That is some good luck that came your way. And sometimes it could be a waste of time also, who knows, right? Learning is when you are clear about two things. Number one, what is my self-learning goal? And number two, what is my subject learning goal? How can I improve in what I do professionally? And how can I improve in the person that I am? And once I identify these two, I have to put some money aside and time aside to learn this. Because there is no cheaper way to success. Mm-hmm. Right? So let us consider that investment, Apeksha. I hope I answered some bit for now.
Yes.
Agreed, 100%. 100% agreed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was phenomenal. I think our participants today really benefited. Again, one of the free webinars that we conducted today. But that's Rotary. I mean, as Satish ji also mentioned earlier, as Rotarians, we learn this leadership. It's a great opportunity for us to network. It functions exactly like a corporate. There's a leader, there's a team of people, who kind of operate under him, and then they've got further people, and then it further breaks down right to the club level. There are various targets. But all these are towards social and economic development and personal development. So just to give you a small overview of how Rotary operates. And leadership obviously is a constant challenge. As you say, a lot of us just get into the realm thinking that just seek lenge raste mein, by the way. And sometimes you become great leaders and sometimes not so much. But great talk. I would like to thank everyone who came today. Meeting abhi khatam nahi hua hai. Please hold on.
Thank you so
I
much. I just want to take a moment to invite you all for a course that I'm putting out on public speaking, given that it is it tops the list of fears that we all have. I thought it'll be a very relevant topic to cover. So I'm just sharing a link, if I may, in the chat box. You can explore this later. It's
Sure.
a 2-day crash course, 2 hours on a Saturday, Sunday, 24th and 25th of this month. Would love to see you all there if you can make time, and if you think it's relevant for you, I would be looking forward to adding value to this course.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I completely buy that logic that you have to definitely invest in learning. In the lockdown, I invested on communication skills. I spent money and learned communication skills from someone else. So, and I see a lot of value in doing that. So I would encourage everyone else who's got the time, please go ahead and register with Yukti. Also, Dr. Lucky Kasat, who's there today, is also constantly conducts such sessions. So please register with him as well. So now over to some announcements for the club. I would like to use this opportunity today to remember our dear friend, late past president, Kishan Arjani. Time just flies. It's been a year since we lost him on the 7th of April. Kishan remains in our hearts and our minds, and we will always miss him very much. I'd like to recognize and thank his children, Naveen and Vicky, who have joined us here today. Thank you for coming. Also, I can see Rekha ji, their mother, who has also taken the time to come and attend. It's always lovely to see all of you. So Kishan ji is not with us, but he's always there in everything that we do as Rotary. We remember him a lot. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Sudha. Thank you, Sudha, for the kind words.
Thank you so much.
Very excited to be part of this group. I think this is the kind of stuff my dad loved doing, leadership and these kind of things. So it's actually very heartening to hear about what he would have possibly been part of if he was with us today. So thanks for acknowledging and remembering. This is 1 year today. I mean, not today. It's been a couple of days since he left us, more than a year on the 7th. So thanks for the kind words.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so welcome, Vicky.
Time just flies. I would also use this opportunity to make a nice, pleasant announcement. Our Rotarian, Jigisha Hinduja, she was recognized by the district for the Woman of Achievement. Congrats in the service week. Congrats, Jigisha, and if you're there or you've dropped down. I would also like to congratulate and say a big thank you to Sumant Mathure. Meenal, can you spotlight Sumant Mathure if he's there? Sumant, with his large heart, as he always does, has donated to the TRF funds. My friends, again this year, he's donated 70,000 for the TRF friends. Thank you so much, Sumant.
Thank you.
This is a classic example of walk the talk, level 3 leadership. You always show by the front. Thank you very much. And now I would request Asha to take over the secretarial announcements. And after that, President-elect Srirang will give vote of thanks for our speaker today.
Thank you, Sudha. We had a very good attendance today. More than 50 members attended, and I'm sure they would have all benefited and have all been excited to listen to you, Yukti. And we would also like to take this opportunity to wish happy birthday to the birthdays that have gone by: Mr. Desai, Mrs. Ritika, daughter of Dr. Raj and Bharti Harjani, and Mr. Deena Thanekar on the 3rd of April, 2nd of April was Mr. Desai's birthday. And last but not the least, and I should say, DJ and Kailash's birthday, which went by on the 8th of April. We send our good wishes to them. And that's it. Back to you, Sudha. And
can I ask Suhas to make the district announcements, please?
Yeah. See, there are many forthcoming important events in this month, such as on 11th of April at 5:30 p.m. There is a topic strategic planning in Rotary Club, and the speaker is our DGN Kaila Jetani. Don't miss this. This is going to be very interesting, and I can tell you, this is not going to be only national, it is going to be the international event. Then on 16th of April at 6:30 p.m., there's a South Asia event, and the topic is learning and imparting knowledge way forward. And the speaker is PDG Sherry Muniz. This is also an excellent opportunity to learn and imparting knowledge and looking forward. And every year we have a Rotary Service Week. And on 18th of April, morning 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., the topic is on end thalassemia. Then on 24th April from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. it is on entrepreneurship MSME. And on 25th April, that is on Sunday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. is on Youth Festival. And please remember, DISCON is on 15th and 16th of June, which is going to be virtual. You know the reason. Because of this pandemic, it is going to be on virtual. And registration charges are only 1,000 rupees. So I request all Rotarians, do register and enjoy wonderful DISCON. That's it, Sudha, from my side.
Thank you, Suhas. I hope everybody is noted whatever is mentioned. If not, official in the group, we will be posting all these events. And if there are any questions or anything that you would like to join, please reach out to Asha or the president or Suhas. Thank you so much. May I request Satish Maniji? He has some announcements to make.
Yes, certainly, Sudha. Friends, all of you, our club members, the other members who have joined here, there is a much happy announcement. Our district governor nominee, our club member, Kaila Jetani, is district governor nominee. And we are having the first president meets, that is the get-together or introduction meet of the presidents during the year 22-23. So this is the first president meet as a training. Kailash, glad to see you here. And this is the Kaila Jetani for Yukti. This is our district governor nominee who will be taking over our district in 22-23. And we are having the first president meet of the presidents of various clubs during his year. Now, friends, there is a happy announcement. Up till now, this was a closed session. But for the first time, we are inviting everybody to witness the first president meet. That means our club members, our Rotarians, those who would like to be part of it are all invited tomorrow at 7:30 onwards for the first president meet. And especially our club members, I think all of you should make it a point to attend because it's a pride moment that our member Kaila Jetani will be leading 95 clubs and 3,600 Rotarians in 22-23. So let us be part of that history in tomorrow's first meet. So I invite one and all on behalf of DGN Kaila Jetani and the core team. Thank you, Sudha, for giving me that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As just an immediate past president, I would ask everyone, please do join. These president meets are phenomenal for all the future leaders, as Yukti just showed us what leadership is all about. And if it's brought in some excitement in your mind about leadership, then please do join this meeting tomorrow. I'm sure you will love it. And so now, may I ask our president-elect. Yukti, president-elect means the president who is going to be the president next year. That's from July. We call them as president-elect. Rotary generally has a plan for 3 years. So we have the people lined up for 3 years. So the immediate next president is president-elect Srirang Ketkar. May I request you to propose the vote of thanks for our speaker today, Yukti? Over to you,
Thank you,
Sriram.
Sudan. Good evening, everyone. It was truly an exciting evening. The entire session was an enriching experience. Yukti has elaborated the crux of leadership skills and also provided guidance as to how to develop leadership skills through a session specifically designed for us, focusing on strategic operational with 5-level leadership. The exciting part was the 5-level leadership. So on behalf of the members of Rotary Club of Thane East and everyone attending the session, our heartfelt gratitude to Yukti for her inspirational thoughts. Once again, I thank everyone attending the session. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sriramji.
Thank you, Sriram. Before we sign off for the day, I would also quickly like to mention that next Friday, we meet again, same time, 7:30. We've got yet another wonderful speaker, a great topic by our own Rotarian speaker, is a well-known public speaker, Rotarian Vinod Thakkar. Some of you must have probably heard, but it's a little light-hearted, humorous. It's the third week of the month, and we generally like to keep something light and humorous on the third week. So please do attend again in large numbers. I'm sure it's going to be as good, if not better, like we saw today. Thank you, everyone. If there's anything else anybody wants to announce, or you can stay back in the chat and in the call, we can just have